Hello, it's day 4 for the RPG Day 2023. This is a day late. It's Saturday, August 5th, but I'm catching up because I did not have time yesterday. So for day 4, the question is, what is the most recent game that you bought? And there's actually a couple that I was going to go over because I have an RPG addiction and I buy a lot of RPGs and I have a lot that I've bought recently. Ars Magica is a book that I've been very interested to read and look at, mainly because of the magic system in it. It's an old RPG. I don't know if I will actually play this, but I'm very interested to kind of read the different types of magics and the spell system that they use for it. It's kind of an RPG that's set in kind of like medieval Britain, I guess. Medieval England. So you play as a magic wizard or a witch or wizard, and then I think they have kind of like their retinue is like they have usually like a squire or a knight or a minstrel that's kind of like you control all these characters. I think they have it's kind of like underlings. Your wizard is your is the most powerful character, but they have all these other underlings or I think they call them grogs, which are sort of like NPCs that the player controls, followers, and you can change between what character that you're wanting to use. If you want to have the knights go out to do something, and the idea is it's kind of like a generational game where a lot of time passes in between sessions or during sessions without like adventures happening. So like you have a lot of time to study magic and build your tower, I guess. I'm really not that well versed in this, but it seemed to look like a really cool book, and I've been trying to build some custom magic systems in my other games, and so I got this as inspiration because I really like how it's freeform. So that's Ars Magica. The other game that I've had my eye on for a while, hence the cards, is this, which just came, and I have not really looked at it at all. This is a bundle that I got on eBay. I couldn't say no because it's like, let's see, it was like $70, and most RPG books are in like the 30 to 50 range, right? So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books for like $70 on this eBay bundle I found. So again, I couldn't say no to that for Castle Falkenstein. This book is a very interesting RPG to me, and I wanted to get it for a long time because it does not use dice. As much as we all love dice and RPGs, that's what you think of. This one uses a deck of cards instead, which is fascinating. I actually have one book. Let me see if I can find it. This is the only other RPG that I have that does not use dice. This one is called Bounty Hunter, and it doesn't use any dice. It uses action points, so you just keep track of how many points you have to spend. Every action costs you a point, and there's ways to regain points and everything, but that's an interesting book. I played this once. It was alright. I'd give it a try again. But Castle Falkenstein, this book is also kind of set in more of a European setting, Victorian steampunk alternate world, and in this game you play. There's no classes. You select kind of a archetype: anarchist, adventurous, brownie. I don't know what that is. Calculation engineer, consultant detective, diplomat, dragon lord, dwarf craftsman, a fairy lord, gentlewoman, inventor, journalist, thief, mad scientist, rogue, performer. There's like all these different sections, and what you do when you make a character is you actually start off by having like a sheet of paper or a journal or diary, and you're supposed to answer almost like a character questionnaire, and once you go through those, it kind of gives yourself skills that you can like designate if you're excellent in this skill, great, average, or poor, stuff like that. And each skill, like they have athletics, charisma, connections, education, courage, comeliness, glamour, perception, marksman, fencing, it's steampunk era, so definitely use a lot of swords and stuff still. Stealth, tinkering, sorcery, social graces, all these different skills you end up allocating. I think you have one great trait, which is a value of 8. You have 4 good traits, which are valued at 6. I forget how many average, but those are valued at 4. And you have 1 poor trait valued at 2. So whenever you're operating on any of those skills, let's say that your physique is the poor trait, then you only get a 2 in physique. And as you are trying to do things, instead of rolling dice, you use a deck of cards. So you do yourself 4 cards per, I don't know, encounter, per scene, whatever. I just dealt myself 2 clubs, a spade, and a diamond. And the 4 suits are hearts, being like social or romance, stuff like that. Clubs are your physical attacks, brawling, strength. Your spades are for status, but I'm not really sure exactly how that plays fully into the game. Society interactions, probably stuff like that. I'm not sure how they differentiate that between social. And then diamonds are your intellect. So, and then you also actually are supposed to have a second deck of cards if you're doing anything with magic, because they use the cards for a magic system as well. So if I'm trying to beat a target number, let's say I'm trying to punch somebody and I have a poor physique, so I only have a 2, I might need to get 10 points to be successful on that attack. Now if I have, these cards and I need to get a 10, my physique is 2, so I would add 7 for 9, and then I'd add 2 for 11, so I'd be able to pass. However, if I didn't have any clubs, and I had like 2 spades instead, if it's out of the suit, each card just counts for 1. And then I think jacks are 11, queens are 12, kings are 13, and aces are 14. And you do play with the jokers, and I forget if jokers are just wild cards or what they do, but it's a very interesting system, it sounds like. So I'm curious. I don't know if I'll actually play it a bunch, but it's pretty fun. Most of it's in black and white, but there are some color pages too. So I've got the core book, Cashel Falkenstein, the Steam Age, the Memoirs of Oberon Ferry, 6 Guns and Sorcery, the Lost Notebook of Leonardo da Vinci, Comme il faut, All Things Right and Proper. I'm not sure what that book is. I haven't looked at any of these yet. The Book of Sigils, and those are my most recent purchase, which again I couldn't say no to it. So that's a lot of RPG stuff. I will talk to you tomorrow about even more.